Today, we're in my 1997 Dodge Ram 2500, and my headlight switch has stopped working. Except not in the way that it doesn't turn on the headlights. The headlights still work fine. The tail lights, the license plate lights, the dash lights, those things have stopped working. Now that's really convenient when you're running from the cops because they can't see your plate, can't see your, tail lights or anything like that. It's easy to disappear. But when you're not running from the cops, it can cause problems. So, let me show you what we're going to do to get this headlight switch out and get a new headlight switch in so all of our lights work and this truck is ready to be driven at night again. So the first thing we're going to have to do with my particular truck is remove this black surround. And since I have my brake controller mounted where the ashtray used to go, I need to remove these screws that mount my brake controller. So those are just a flathead screw. If you still have an ashtray, you would need to remove your ashtray as well as your cup holder. I don't have a cup holder anymore. Something else is going to be going there, but we'll talk about that in another video. I didn't need that screwdriver anymore, so I can just put it down on the floor. Now with my brake controller out of the way, I'm going to actually set you down for a second so that I can just unplug that and get this whole assembly out of the way. Insert our key, step on the brake pedal, turn the truck to run, pull our shifter all the way down, use our adjustment for steering wheel, pull this towards us, and then, kind of hard to do with one hand, hopefully that wasn't too sickening to watch. Get our steering wheel cranked all the way down. We're going to grab a hold of our surround here and just kind of pull this towards us. Got a lot of little clippy-doos there. We just need to get this up out of the way. That's far enough. Put the truck back in park. Remove our key. We can let off the brake. Now, our headlight switch is right here. And this thing is held in by two Phillips screws. So we're going to remove those two Phillips screws with our screwdriver that I threw on the floor earlier. When I said two, I meant three. Now, I'm going to pull this assembly out and watch all these screws go flying. Okay, they didn't all fall out. Pick up these screws, put them somewhere safe, then we can resume extracting our headlight switch. We can see what we need to do in order to get this disconnected. This is a locking tab and this is a locking tab, and you just have to kind of pry those guys out just a little bit. You can use your thumb, it's fine. Here's our headlight switch. So this is the whole assembly, and just looking at this, looks like there's screws here. I'm gonna have to take these out to get this thing off, but the pull tab itself has to come out. And looking at what kind of pulls and moves, there's a button over here. See that right there? I'm thinking that spring-loaded button, maybe it's got to turn just right too. Huh, there we go. Little fiddling, and our knob is out. Let's grab a screwdriver, pull out these screws on the back plate here. Okay, now we've got this. That unscrew? That's got to unscrew. That looks like a big Phillips. Let's just... Oh yeah, sure enough. That unscrews off of there, which separates this, which is our switch, from this plate. And so then our new switch, there's a little tab. So let me pull this out. See how this has a tab here? So our switch can go into that, lock into place, and then this little nut looking thing, bolt looking thing, I don't really know, can go in there. Tighten that in. Get it tight enough that it's not going to come loose. Now, put our cover back on here if I can avoid throwing this thing. And these little silver screws back into each of their respective positions. Now we just have to reinstall our knob here. I think it's a triangle shape. It goes into a little triangle shaped doodad there and then clicks in. So it's gotta like lock in somehow. I think that just did it. Yep. Had to kind of wiggle it and push it in, and now it's locked into our little click tab there, and now we've got our whole range of travel. So now let's put this back into the truck, which I'm just going to plug these wires back in. There is two little locking tabs. Let me show you what those locking tabs look like, and I'll just clip it all back together. We're all clipped back on. This locking tab and this locking tab are seated, so we can shove this thing right back into the dash, get our 3 black colored screws back in to hold that in place, put our bezel back on, and we'll be good to go. Oh, brake controller wire. Plug that black into our brake controller. All right, now let's go check if our switch is working and turning on our taillights. Ta-da! We've got taillight and taillight. We're good. How about our fronts? Yep. Well, there we have it. New headlight switch installed. We're legal again. We've got all our lights functioning. No more erratic taillights, dash lights. We're ready to drive after dark, which won't be as convenient if I'm robbing banks or, delivering incriminating information to informants or things of that nature, but, let's face it. Most of the time, I was just driving around causing trouble anyways. So, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.